Hey, everybody. We are in the midst of a revolution. That was my thinking on my morning walk this morning. I've had 3 months now to kind of process the MAGA win, the Trump win, what's going on in Washington, what's been going on in Washington for the last 10 years. And I think we're beyond the place now of just kind of bouncing back and forth between the Democrats and the Republicans. Actually, there is no more Republican Party. It's the MAGA Party now. And I don't think going forward, supposedly the country could elect a Bernie Sanders or a Democratic nominee, and we could flip back to Democrats, and we could flip back to MAGA and flip back. I think those days might be over. I think the country for a long time has been unhappy with federal government in Washington, and we've basically seen the collapse of it. And the Supreme Court, which is now just a farce, we have no Supreme Court left in this country. It's just a bunch of Christian nationalists up there, white guys, who Trump appointed 3 of them in 1 year. And they're just a farce. But what they have done is made the presidency a dictatorship. Donald Trump has all the power. The Congress has no power. The Senate has no power as of now. The Supreme Court has no power. He can just disavow and not even obey Supreme Courts. There's no consequence to it. The country has basically collapsed. And so I think we have a nation now where that we're in transition, we're in revolution. Trump, MAGA, is a part of the beginning of the revolution. What I don't believe is that it will be the end of the revolution. I think it's a process we're going through. There's dark days and dark years ahead. He's a dictator and a fascist in every sense of the word. And I'm not saying that to get people to click like or to agree with me or not to agree with me. I mean, it's just obvious that he has a very fascist mentality about it. The country hasn't been happy. I mean, we're the richest country in the world, and we're hundreds of trillions of dollars in debt, and we can't balance our budget. We can't pay for stuff. We borrow money they save from China to help out foreign aid. There's all kind of weird stuff that's maybe the federal government got too big to operate or something, but it got way off track somewhere along the way. So how do we go forward with this? I think the midterms will come up, and more than likely the Democrats will take back the House, but there'll be no power in that because Trump, as dictator, can just do executive orders and override them and just don't pay no attention to what the laws they pass. And the Supreme Court has said that he cannot commit a crime while in office doing presidential duty, so he can basically do whatever he wants to do. And so I remember back in the 70s during Vietnam and the hippie era, we were kind of in a baby steps of a revolution back then. I don't know, if I'm just being honest with you, and y'all know I was a part of the Harris campaign, and I've really have voted Democrat most of my life, and I'm liberal in a lot of ways, although I'm very conservative in other ways. If I'm being honest, I don't know if the country needs to go back to Democrat, Republican. I don't know what the outcome of this will be, but the track we've been on for the last 20 years, it's just not been a good, and supposedly, one of the cohorts of putting this country together made the comment that we have a republic if you can keep it. Maybe we can't keep it. I don't think we're going to become a fascist dictator country. We are now, but I don't think this is the settling place where it's going to settle. I think people will rise up across the country. We're not going to tolerate gays and lesbians being, done the way they're being done, put their lives in danger. We're not going to tolerate, we're just too good of a people to tolerate all the ugliness and darkness and bitterness that comes through the MAGA crowd. And but neither do we want to go back to a Bernie Sanders where that, yada, yada, yada. I tell you the reason we have hundreds of trillions of dollars in debt. We have a bunch of rich billionaire oligarchs who's running the corporate America and running the government now. They own hotels and penthouses, and they have sucked dry the soul of this country, and so I would tell us, yeah, we're gonna mobilize, we're gonna vote, we're gonna stay engaged. But there's a shift that's went on in the country, and we don't know where it's heading. But we won't rest until it's in a good place, And I always thought that maybe our system of government with checks and balances was the best in the world. That's what I've always heard. I don't know. I don't think so now. I think maybe that parliamentary system that Canada has and England has, maybe that's better than us. They don't seem near as damn crazy as we do. And we have 50 states and territories, 50 governors, 100 senators, 435 congressmen, and the country's in a mess, y'all. And you think the country's in a mess now? Wait into this Trump presidency in the next year or two. We're going to see what a mess this country the country is in a mess now. And I know this is not a lot of hope and encouragement to some of you that's listening to this, but I will tell you this. I think the revolution has started. And I don't think there's no going back. I don't think there's going back. I've seen the other day where Al Gore was saying he was thinking about maybe he could run for president. The country's not going back, The MAGA crowd and Donald Trump take America back, make America great again. The country's not going back. And listen, y'all, down through history, we've seen the guys like Donald Trump come through history. They fizzle and burn. They have their moment, the Joe McCarthy's, and we've seen all that. Donald Trump's not a good man. He's not a good president. But he is part of something bigger, which is a revolution that is going on in the country. And so the other part of the revolution has to become engaged. And in the end, maybe we do settle out. It might be 10, 20 years from now. Maybe we settle it with a better government than what we've had. Yeah, we're in revolution. Yeah, see y'all.